Hello everyone, in this lecture we will learn about web tables. We will see how to handle dynamic tables using Selenium WebDriver. First, let us understand what are web tables. Web tables are like normal tables where the data is presented in a structured format using rows and columns. The only difference is that they are displayed on the web with the help of HTML code. Table tag is the HTML tag that is used to define a web table. TH is used for defining the header of the table. TR is used for defining the rows of the table. TD is used for defining the columns of the table. So, here if you will see an example, here we have a table having the columns first name, last name, age and gender, and then there are few rows, right, and there are some values in this. So, if we have to form this table in HTML format, so here you can see the example. Here you can see how the different tags are used. Table tag is used to define the web table. Then here you are seeing TR, right. So, TR is used for rows, and inside this rows what are the columns? So, TH, right, like first name, last name, age, gender. So, same thing are written here. Similarly, here you can see TR is your rows and TD means your column, right. What are the column values here, right. So, this is the structure, this is the HTML format how you define a table. Okay. Then there are two types of table. Okay. One is static web table and another one is dynamic web table. Then what is static web table? A static table is a table whose number of rows and columns does not change. Due to the static nature of their content, they are called static web tables. So, the values, so here you can see in this column, right, all these values, let us say all these values are fixed. So, in that case it is a static table, but let us say someone can add a new row or someone can delete this row or someone can update these values, then it will be a dynamic table. If the values, rows and column values are fixed, then it is a static table. If these are not fixed, then it is a dynamic table. So, what is a dynamic table? A dynamic table is a table whose number of rows and columns can change frequently. These tables have data that change over time, and hence the number of rows and columns might also change depending on the data sets. Due to the dynamic nature of their content, they are called dynamic web tables. Now, let us understand how to handle these dynamic web tables using Selenium WebDriver. Here you see this is a dynamic table. Okay. Here we can delete the rows, we can update the rows, we can add a new row. Okay. So, basically this table is a dynamic table as this column and row values are not fixed. Okay. So, let us see how to find salary of this particular name. Okay. So, we need to find it dynamically. So, tomorrow if we are giving a different name, we should also able to find the salary of that particular person. Okay. So, we need to find the salary dynamically. So, mainly we need to go to this particular point and then we need to say dot text to retrieve the salary of this particular thing, right. So, first let us get that through any locator. Okay. We can use XPath here. Okay. So, we will reach this salary. First we will find the first name, then we will try to reach to this particular salary. Okay. So, let me inspect here. Okay. So, here we see the name is there, right. So, if I need to find it, so what I can do, I can write /td, okay, then I will use text function is equal to this particular name, right, CIERRA. Okay. So, we are able to identify this. So, we are here in this particular row, right, but we have to go to this particular place. So, basically we are in the same row, but different column. Okay. So, how to do that using XPath locator? So, first of all what we will do, we will go to the parent first, then we will come back to this particular row. Okay. So, how we will go to the parent? We can write here slash then parent. Okay. Here you can see TR. So, what we will write here ::TR. So, now you see this complete row is getting selected. Okay. So, see, this complete row is getting selected. Now, we need to come to this particular salary. Okay. So, where it is located 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the 5th place. Okay. So, what we will do? We will do slash then TD of 5. Okay. So, let us see, now you see this 10,000 is getting highlighted. Okay. So, we are able to identify this particular salary from this first name. Okay. So, let me copy this XPath and let us go to our PyCharm. Let me create a new Python file, we will name it as table. Okay. Let me copy some code from our previous file and let me delete all these things which are unnecessary. So, here if you will see, we are just launching the Chrome browser, then we are navigating to this particular URL and then we are maximizing the window. So, let me get this particular URL first. So, let me copy this and let me add it here. Okay. Now, what we will do? We will write, we will try to find that particular salary thing, right. So, we will write driver dot find element, okay, then by dot XPath and here we will give that XPath. Let me copy it again. Okay. So, if you will notice here, we are hard coding this name, right. So, what we will do? We want to do it dynamically, right. So, we will take a variable first name is equal to, we will give this name. Okay. And now, here we will instead of this particular name, we will use first name. Okay. So, we will use f string and here we will put f. Okay. And now, if you want to find the salary, what you can do? We will just write print, or maybe here what we will do, let us say salary element is equal to this, then here we will say salary is this dot text, right. Okay. Let me execute and see. Okay, we can get the salary, right. Salary is 10,000. Okay. So, if you will notice one more thing, here we are writing TD5. So, tomorrow if a new column is getting added or one column is deleted, then this particular XPath will fail. Okay. So, we also need to find it dynamically, okay, because what is happening here, we have this particular salary, it is in the 5th place. So, if tomorrow there is a new column gets added here, then it will be T6. So, in that case that XPath will fail, then how we will identify it? So, we need to see, we need to figure it out from this particular header. So, if we will say, let us say this first name is 1, last name is 2, age is 3, email is 4, salary is 5, department is 6, action is 7. So, something like that, we will put some index to this particular header and then with that index we will try to find this particular salary. Okay. So, let me show you how you can do it. Okay. So, first of all we will try to find all the headers here. So, how we will find all the headers? One simple thing you can do, you can just write table, then here you can see th. Okay. See, all the headers are getting selected. Okay. So, we are finding all the headers here. So, let me just copy this and we will go here and what we will do here, we will write all the headers, right. So, let us say headers is equal to, again we will write driver dot find elements, because here driver dot find elements, because here we are finding multiple elements, that is why we are writing find elements by dot XPath. Okay. And then here you put this. Okay. And if you just want to see what are those headers, okay, so you can just print those headers, right. We will just write for header in headers, Okay. Then print header dot text dot strip. Okay. So, this will print you all the headers. So, let me show you that also. Let us run it. So, we have all the headers here, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right. So, salary is the fifth one, that is why you are seeing here T5. Okay. So, we need to put some index to all these particular headers. So, how we will do that? So, we will use enumerate function. Okay. So, enumerate is a built-in function in Python which allows to keep track of the number of iterations in a loop. Okay. Enumerate object contains a count from the start, it is always default to 0 and a value obtained from iterating over the iterable object. So, let me show you that, so you will able to understand it easily. Okay. So, first let me just write salary column index is equal to, let us say it is 0. Okay. For now we will put it as salary column index as 0 and then we will just write a for loop. Let us say for index comma header in enumerate, and here what we will write headers. Okay. And then here we will give starting point, right. So, start, so default is always 0, maybe here we will give 1 because we want it to start from the first column should be 1. Okay. So, that is why we are starting from 1. Then we will put a condition if header dot text dot strip is equal to salary, because this is the column value, right. Then what we will do? We will say the salary column index is equal to index. Okay. And then we will break the loop. So, this break will exit the loop immediately after finding the salary column. Okay. So, once we get the salary column, it will break because we are comparing, right. We are comparing each header, right. That is why we are writing header in headers. So, we are going through first name, last name, everything. So, we are comparing first name is equal to the salary, no, last name is equal to salary, no. So, whenever it will match to salary, it will break the loop. Okay. So, we will print the salary column index here. So, print, okay. So, salary column index value is, okay. So, we will print the index here and then what we will do? We have already this XPath, right. So, salary element equal to driver dot find element by dot XPath td text. So, in place of this 5 we will use this salary column index, okay, because that is why we are finding this, what is the index, right. So, what I will do here, I will just copy this and here instead of 5 we will put salary column index. Okay. So, now if you will see this first name is coming from here, whatever name we are giving, and then this particular salary column index, that we are figuring it out with this particular code. Okay. So, now let me execute. Okay. So, what we are seeing here, salary column index value is 5, salary is 10,000, because whatever index we try to add here, right. So, same thing is coming here. So, earlier we are using TD5, but now instead of TD5 we are using this salary column index, that is why you are seeing this column index is 5. So, TD5 is used here and the salary is fetched here. Okay. So, if you just want to see instead of salary, you just want to see what is the department. Okay. Again it is pretty simple. So, what you can do, instead of this particular salary you put department. Okay. Then it will give you the department. Okay. Let me just execute and show you. So, it should give us insurance. Okay. See, it is giving you insurance. Okay. So, that is how you can easily find what is the value from any particular name. So using this dynamic code, you can find salary, department or email ID for any particular first name. Okay, so that is why this code is dynamic. You just pass whatever name you want and then you just pass whatever column value you need here, you just pass it here. Okay, now I hope you understood how to handle dynamic web elements. That's all for this lecture. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.